Somewhere around my 21st birthday, I signed myself up for an ex-gay program, reparative therapy as it's known today. It's hard to believe there was a time when I didn't want to be gay. Harder still to believe I thought I could do something about it. But it's true. There's a phenomenon called linguistic determinism. It's when you can't comprehend what you don't have language for. And I can't explain the brain science behind it, but it's the only way I can explain how I could be an adult in the 90s and think that I wasn't gay. I was just attracted to women. And if I ever acted on my attraction, actually turned into a lesbian, then I'd end up miserable. Not just going to hell for forever miserable, but day to day, God is punishing for my sins miserable. I had never in my life heard anything positive about being gay. It was 1994, 3 years before Ellen came out. No one had the internet. And when I looked up homosexuality in the card catalog of my college library, I found books on codependency, horrible mothers, and using the power of Jesus to be straight. I read in one of those books that outward appearance could assist in inward change. So I grew out my mullet and showed up for my first day of group therapy in women's jeans. They put me in a small group with the women who had never had an experience with another woman, separated from the rest so that we didn't accidentally learn anything from the real lesbians. But I learned plenty. I heard women speak longingly about friends and lovers they left behind, as if they had actually enjoyed the gay lifestyle, as if they had found real love there. I heard tales of ex-husbands winning custody battles, using the argument that lesbians were sexual deviants and obviously unfit mothers. An argument I believed myself until I heard it applied to women I'd actually gotten to know. I learned some lesbians wore skirts and makeup, and they were just as gay as those of us who wore flannels. And my suspicions were confirmed. There really were lesbian bars nearby. In fact, I passed one each week on my way to the group. And the more stories I heard, the more friends I met and saw drop out of the program, the less hope I had that what I was doing was going to work. And so as a last-ditch effort, I started doing research on my own, watching the lesbian-themed movies Blockbuster carried. I thought I might see things about being gay that I didn't like, and that would make it easier to stick with the ex-gay plan. First, I watched Clear the Moon. And I learned that women could masturbate. I watched Bar Girls, and for a minute, I did not want to be gay anymore. Until I watched Go Fish, and then Bound, and wanted to be gay more than ever. Near the end of my second year in the group, I met a woman who asked me on a date, and I said yes. And then I asked her on a second, and she said yes. And that was the end of me trying to be something that I wasn't. But there was so much that I didn't know. I thought being gay only meant sleeping around, partying all the time, and ignoring any and all values. I tried really hard to be the lesbian that my Baptist upbringing had defined for me, but I couldn't. I was a failure at picking up girls. Leaving the house after 10 p.m. to go to the bar was torture. All I wanted to do was hang out with one woman, and so I did that. I asked the woman who had asked me out to be my girlfriend, and we had a relationship that looked just like all our straight coupled friends. And life was good, but I still felt way behind in the world of dating and sex and had no idea how to do the whole gay thing right. So I devoured books, discussion boards, I finally got the internet. I even mustered up the courage to slip behind the curtain of the back room of the feminist bookstore to rent the entire VHS collection of lesbian movies that Blockbuster did not carry. Luckily, I also had this new thing called gay community that I found by joining a softball team. I watched how other women flirted, what they drank, how they danced, what they wore on different occasions. I noted what they complained about when talking about their partners and what they raved about after a good date. I learned that men were to be hated for their unchecked power and privilege, catcalls, objectification, arrogance, and taking up so much space. I was very careful to steer my development as a lesbian towards androgyny rather than masculinity. And I suppressed my desire to open doors for other women, drive on a date, and pay for more than half of my meals. I kept my eyes up when talking to pretty ladies. And I never, ever complimented a woman on her physical appearance. Until I dated a femme. She wore dresses and heels, makeup, and a necklace that went to a place I did not think my eyes belonged. I was 40 years old the first time a woman looked herself up and down and said to me, "Well, how do I look?" "You look great," was all I could say. "You know this is for you," she said. And I didn't. I couldn't. I wasn't supposed to think a woman would ever look amazing for anyone other than herself. But I am a quick study. I'm not the police of what makes another woman feel fantastic. And I am all about making another woman feel fantastic whenever I get the chance. And today I'm 43 and a half years old. I stopped trying to not be gay almost 20 years ago, but I've never stopped exploring the kind of gay that I want to be. The options are endless in this day and age. And I don't want people to tell me or assume that I'm genderqueer or a butch because I like to wear ties. Unless I'm on a date with a femme. She wants to be on a date with a butch. Because that dance, that butch femme thing that happens, I do want that. But other than that, I do not want a label. I don't need a word or a string of words to describe who or what I am. And if that lack of language makes me hard to comprehend, don't worry, you'll find your way. I did.